back to Hillbilly Adventures. Today we're going to do a review on the Creality Ender 3 V2 Neo, which is a new printer to me that I received from a eBay seller, Creality eBay seller. And I will leave a link in the description below of where you can get yours. They gave me a smoking hot deal on it. Part of our deal, full disclosure, is I would do a review on their products, and I'm going to give an honest review. When I got this thing, definitely a learning curve. If you've had the older Ender 3 models, it's a totally different game. Where I am used to the Ender 3 having steppers to actually stop everything and lock it in place after a print is done. This model here doesn't seem to do that. So, and I looked this up online. It seems to be a known deal with them. What I was having issues with is the extruder and that whole assembly after it was done with a print, or when you turn the unit off, it would sink down and the nozzle would actually touch the build plate, which it didn't hurt anything. It was just kind of annoying, especially where it has a magnetic bed that you have to peel up to pull your print off. Constantly have to lift the thing up and then pull the bed plate off to release my print. And so I went online, I looked, and I found a few videos on YouTube show you how to do this. One gentleman is talking about a mechanism. It's like a screw lock mechanism. Basically has two brass pieces that pull this way with a spring in between, which basically applies pressure to the threads of the rear screw, to basically add enough friction so it won't do that. And that will work. However, being a guy that uses his hands to twist wrenches all day, I got thinking about that, and I'm like, well, that would work, but long term, I'm thinking wear and tear. Metal against metal. I don't want to do that. So my fix was very easy and simple, and I didn't have to buy anything. I just got out a tube of grease and I added a few drops of grease to the threads, and that added enough viscosity so that it doesn't drop anymore. It seemed to work. The only downside of that is occasionally, if it gets dusty or whatever, you're going to go in there and wipe it off and apply new grease. But you're also adding lubrication to the screw, so therefore no wear and tear. Probably make it last a lot longer, in all honesty. Anyway, that was my fix. With that being said, this thing has been phenomenal. Way better than the old Ender 3. Other things I had to learn was how to change filament. On the old model, you actually had an option in the control board where you could tell it to load or unload, a different PLA, and it would even purge for you and all that. This unit here is way more basic than that. More or less, you just tell it to heat up the extruder, and it actually has a knob where you can twist and you manually can back out your PLA. One of the things that I learned by watching another YouTuber is if when you're releasing it, you have to pinch in the back, the little lever back there, and when you pull it out, and when you pinch it, push in and then pull it out, and it'll actually pull a bunch of crap out with it, and completely clean the inside of the extruder out, so that when you run your new product through and you twist the knob to push it through the hot head, you don't have so much of the old PLA coming out before you get to the new. And I tried it, and it works. That's a good way of doing it. I never thought about doing that before. Also, differences between the two. My old one used to have a magnetic bed. I upgraded it to a glass bed, but I do not have the same adhesion issues I did, and I don't know why, but this model here with the magnetic bed prints fine. I'm not planning on replacing it with a glass bed. See no reason to. Where the original Ender 3 Pro I had the same type of magnetic bed, but I had all sorts of issues with it sticking to that bed. I cleaned it with alcohol. I did everything. Never could get it to work right, so I upgraded to a glass bed and solved the problem. I also made my original Creality Ender 3 direct drive because the Bose tube and all that stuff was not working out as well, and I wasn't getting as good a prints. Wherein this unit here, I do not seem to have the problem. I have noticed though, however, it seems to have more pressure on the PLA when it's pulling it through, because when you remove PLA, you can actually see the little teeth marks where it's grabbed it and pulled it in. Maybe that's what's making the difference. Anyway, I'm really impressed with it. I've had a few little things I've had to tweak on it, but nothing really major. And it's been pumping out, phenomenal prints. Better prints than I have ever been able to do. And, I'll show you. Right here are some spotlights that I have printed out for some projects I've been working on. And, wow, they turned out really good. Here's you a sneak peek at a future video. These spotlights are right there, 3D printed. The driver, he's 3D printed. And here we go. And yeah, shine my light in here, see if we can get a good view. There's you another driver, all 3D printed. As you can see here, for this one, just peel that off. Hard to do it with one hand here. And there you go. There's your print off. There's this another spotlight. There you go. One of the things that I like about 3D printing is you can even 3D print your own upgrades, and this right here was actually 3D printed. And move that PLA out of our way. See, we got ball bearings for their roller. This is one of their modifications that I made as soon as I got this thing. As I was talking about earlier, you have a wheel right here, and you spin that wheel to load and unload your filament. So, all in all, guys, it's a pretty nice setup. It sure prints a lot better than my original. See what I was talking about? It doesn't lock. So, it does come with a little drawer for you to put your stuff. Just pretty nice. Now, on my original, I had to make one of those. I actually had to print one out. You load your micro SD card here. I have not tried to hook this one up to a computer. I do know my old one didn't want to play ball, and I don't know if because it's got a Merlin board, there's something going on there, but it prints okay, but it wants to use the old SD card. Now here we have my original 3D printer, and I've made a ton of upgrades to it. I printed out this. Instead of using the SD card, I'm using the SD card adapter to the larger card that pops into the side here. And it's got a piece that's permanently plugged into the SD slot to keep from wearing it out. I added this a long time ago. Of course, that I had to 3D print my own drawers back in the day. I do have a problem with this thing right now, and you can probably hear how loud it is. My fan blades decided to bust on me. I'm not exactly sure what happened. Wow, that thing's getting even louder. Yeah, let's turn that off. Yeah, so I'm waiting on parts for that. I mean, this thing's been a trooper. It's a good printer too. I did the same modification with this one, with the roller on bearings. But you can see, look at the quality of this one. This Ender 3 made this one, and you can see the lines in it. It's nowhere near as smooth as the other one. All these parts, all these upgraded parts, were made by this printer, and although they look okay, you can definitely see the lines in it, and it's just not as smooth as what the new printer is able to do. So Creality stepped up their game with the V2. It is definitely a better machine. I'm sure the V3 is even better than that. And there you have it. There's a review, or my take on the Ender 3 V2 Neo. Seems to be pretty good in my opinion. I have printed out some other things with it that I forgot to show you on here, and they all turned out great. And the actual quality of the plastic is so much better. Would I recommend this printer? Yes, I would. I mean, for the money, I mean, you can't beat it. I mean, especially if you're just getting into the hobby. It takes a little bit to set up, not near as bad as the old Ender 3. When I first got the old Ender 3, it came as a kit. You had to put everything together. Everything. This thing here was literally 4 bolts, and it was together. And then it was just a matter of tweaking the belts. It's got tensioners where you can tension the belts and stuff, and just little minor things. Other than that, I mean, it's pretty dang impressive. Now they have a V3 out now that I noticed on their website, and there's a couple other models that are out now, and I'm sure they've probably stepped up their game as well. I don't have one of those to review. Creality wants to send me one, that's fine, but I'm not buying another one anytime soon, because I don't need to be spending no more cash. I'm already running out of room in this little hobby room of mine. If you're interested in getting into 3D printing, if not either of the models that I've showed you here, I would definitely recommend Creality's products. They seem to be pretty good. And replacement parts like that fan that I showed you that was broken, it was dirt cheap to replace, and everything's easy. They even supply, I forgot, they supply you with all the tools you need to take the thing apart. It comes with all the Allen wrenches and you know, little crescent wrenches and everything you need. So I mean, they really do try to take care of you there. And I'm not like an expert by any means on 3D printing. This was all 3D printed by my original trying to make RC car parts. Keep from spinning an arm and a leg. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell that it's 3D printed. So if it had been done with you know, the other printer, probably would have turned out a lot better. You wouldn't be able to see like the lines and stuff in there. You know, a good example is the hood. You can see the printer lines. Yeah, I mean, that's what the old school Ender 3 can do for you. But the new Neo, I mean, okay, there's your contrast and example. Let's see if I can get it to zoom in here. I mean, you can't hardly even see the lines on this. It looks, I mean, if I get on my my bifocals and look, I can find them. So I'm pretty impressed. Like I said, if you're interested in getting into this, by all means, get you one. Get out there and give it a try. Websites that I would recommend for finding 3D printing files, if you don't want to create your own, I'll add in the description below. There's 2 of them. There's probably a lot more than that. There's 2 main ones that I go to, and I have been able to print things, everything from RC car parts to replacement parts for our RV that I built, Also, replacement parts for actual vehicles. Just those little hard to find little plastic pieces. And now that I'm trying to actually learn how to make my own stuff, like here's a, this was with my, not with the new one, this was built with the older one before it crapped out on me. The old Ender 3 made this, and I will start making some of these with the new one, and I'm sure they will turn out way better than this right here. So, hey, get out there and give it a try. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to like and subscribe and share. I'm a small channel, just trying to get a few more viewers out there. I'm not monetized by anybody, so every little bit helps. And I really appreciate you tuning in and watching. And I'll try to have some more cool videos coming up. Speaking of which, you got a sneak peek at what I've been doing with the Tamiya vintage buggies. And my next video on that, you're going to love it, because I'm going to have those restored and working. And I have really, really thrown myself into making those things look cool.